we're back. Howdy y'all, this is Ethan Bonreal playing more Earthbound, and last time we were here, we completed the first dungeon of the game and beat the shit out of the first boss of the game, then we're rewarded with the first melody for our soundstone. After that, we ran into Onnet PD, we beat the crap out of them too, that was pretty great, and we got a mushroom on our head for our efforts. This time around, we are going to talk to this mole, and we are going to get some plot dropped on us and explore Twoson, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm not an enemy, I'm just a friendly mole. I'll tell you how to distinguish between your friends and enemies. It's easy to tell an enemy just by looking at them. Enemies look like humans with weird colored faces. Beware of them. However, you can't get more powerful if you avoid your enemies. First off, you fucking mole, you don't know shit about me or my life, don't tell me what to do. So that mole actually read us a little bit, and you're gonna see what I mean, because the topic of the video is gonna be related to what that mole said about avoiding enemies. But our first priority is to get rid of this fucking mushroom, so this mushroom is actually switching the controls around. It doesn't just like reverse the controls, like it legitimately will map the directions onto random buttons, which is very annoying, and it will change them intermittently, so it's not just like remapped once, like it'll just keep remapping them like it did there. Luckily it remapped them to the default setting right now, so I'm not having that much trouble moving, but it can be a little bit annoying. So to take care of this problem, we gotta see this dude. Yo, what's good? Though you may not believe it, I'm a healer. If you have some illness that cannot be treated at a hospital, it's my job to heal you. Hey, now that I notice, could you sell me that mushroom going on top of your head? Let's make a deal. So, this is a little bit shady, but I mean, I guess we gotta do it. So he is gonna pop that mushroom in his mouth, and we are going to pop that 50 bucks in our pocket and act like that never happened, because that was a little bit shady. But, you know, sometimes you gotta roll with the punches. When you got a mushroom on your head and someone wants it, if they have 50 bucks, you just gotta give it to them. So, now that we got that taken care of, we got several things we need to do in Twoson. Let me see what my stats are real quick here. We are going to need to make several trips here, so let's look at the map of Twoson. So we have a hotel, a department store, and a food joint. So Twoson has a department store, which is neat, and you'll see, oh hey, uh-oh, alright, we gotta take care of this first, so... Pictures taken instantaneously. I'm a photographic genius if I do say so myself. Okay, get ready for an instant memory. Look at the camera. Ready, say, fuzzy pickles. Thumbs up. Aw, Ness looks so happy. Wow, what a great photograph. It will always bring back the fondest of memories. So that dude is just gonna pop out randomly and start shooting you up occasionally, because that's just his thing apparently, and you gotta get into it, because there ain't nothing we can do about it. But later in the game you will see the purpose of that, but for now, we have a bike to get. This is the cycle shop, Puncture. Bicycles are so much fun and so convenient. It's a lot faster than walking. You'll be really popular with the biking crowd. Do you want a bicycle? Unfortunately, we actually don't have any more bikes on sale. We only have rentals. Do you want to rent one? Yeah, I do. So, I'll tell you what, I'll let you borrow a bike for free. Ness got the bicycle. You know that 2 people can't ride on one bike, right? So, of course, 3 or 4 people would be impossible. Did you also know that you can't ride a bike with anything following you? Teddy bears, for example. Carrying a bear and riding is impossible for you. Oh, and don't even think about riding a bike into a cave. So, this is one of the examples of Earthbound just having, like, really useless random shit in the game. So you get a bike, which we're about to get up on top of. There we go. And actually, we're gonna... Oop, my bad. We're gonna get back on the bike, but first we're gonna empty an inventory slot. You get this bike pretty early in the game, but I just dismounted it again. If you push the action button while you're riding the bike, you automatically dismount, which is actually kind of annoying. But anyway, you can't use the bike when you have any party members, and you spend literally, like, almost the entire game with party members. We are getting our next party member very, very soon, so you can only really use this bike for, like, 15 to 30 minutes of gameplay and practice. And then it's just useless and it just sits in your inventory taking up space. Which is funny, actually. I like that they added something really useless. But Ness looks really happy riding this thing, so we're gonna go ahead and roll with it. So one of the problems I'm having right now is I need to figure out how to talk about depressing gay shit while looking at Ness's face look like this. I mean, he just looks so happy and cute, but I'm gonna have to work it out. And actually, I'm lying a bit. This episode shouldn't be particularly about depressing shit, but I mean, you know, it always wanders into that territory because I am a depressed homosexual, so that comes with the territory. So now that we have the bike taken care of, next we should actually go into the department store and get us a teddy bear. So we're gonna go to the top floor. So some cities, instead of just having like a drugstore where you can buy 1 or 2 items, will have a department store that has all of the conveniences you need, like food and other items, all in one place, which is convenient. But in Twoson, none of the items you can get are upgrades, so... Oh, actually, let's get our money out first. Alright, we're gonna withdraw... We're gonna have like $1,000. Actually, that's not true. We're gonna have $600-ish on us. Because we actually are very likely to die in this upcoming part. But, you know, we gotta ball hard if we want to go forward in the game. So we are gonna buy a teddy bear, and we are gonna buy another teddy bear. And the teddy bears work like... Oh shit, we got too much shit. Yeah, I guess we could sell something. What do we have? Hamburger Town map. So already we have a lot of shit in our inventory that's taking up space with this bicycle, and this teddy bear, and the exit mouse. So we really can't get another teddy bear, but we can always come back and buy one later. But what it does is it acts like the Pokemon move Substitute, where it will take hits for you in battle until it breaks. And you are also immune to status effects while it is up, which is useful. It'll be useful in this upcoming area, because there are a lot of enemies that use status effects. But anyway, how are y'all doing? I'm doing just fine. Yesterday it rained extremely hard for a large portion of the morning. It was thunderstorming pretty bad, too. And basically I didn't get to do anything, so I spent my time thinking about my life, and I realized what I need to do is accept that I'm not going to get the job I want immediately and just go for something else, and that's okay. Sometimes your plans don't work out the exact way. And I think part of growing up, or at least growing up and being happy, is realizing that things don't have to go exactly the way you want to, and you don't need to be exactly where you want to be immediately, because those things just take time. And that is something really hard for people to grasp. I've noticed, actually, a lot of the homos that I know really beat themselves up. Where the fuck are we going? Oh, we're going down. I get lost in Twoson sometimes. A lot of the homos I know beat themselves up over not accomplishing things, and like I've talked about in at least 2 episodes so far, we tend to measure our self-worth by accomplishments, but it's hard to accomplish things when you're depressed and you just want to suck dick and sleep all day, so, you know, it's kind of self-defeating. But on top of that, we tend to compare ourselves to other people a lot, and we feel if we don't have our life completely together that it's either not worth living or it's just not worth trying to improve things. And we're going to talk more about that in a second, but Bergland Park seems kind of dangerous, but there's some great stuff there. So this is Bergland Park, and this is an open air market they have, and there's actually a lot of neat shit here, but we are actually not going to use 90% of it because our inventory is full. So the main reason why we are here is because of this dude. Yo, what's good? Oh man, he's ready to fight. Wahaha! We don't have to chat, or why don't we chat later after we've locked horns? So this is Everdred. Part of the reason why I got the teddy bear is because he will keep trying to steal shit from you constantly, and if you have the teddy bear, he will not be able to do that, because the teddy bear doesn't have any items. So that is one of the uses here. Also, if he stole an important item, he won't steal key items, but he will steal your, like, food and stuff. But other than that, it's a pretty easy fight at this point. If you're leveled up enough to have done the fight with the cops, you're basically safe to fight Everdred. But Yes, I'm Everdread, boss of Bergland Park. When I jumped off the roof, I twisted my ankle. Anyway, I lost, and nothing will change that. You know, you're pretty strong. Yeah, I know that you want to find out about a girl named Paula. She went off to a secret hideout in peaceful Rest Valley. A chubby boy and a weird guy in a blue outfit have kidnapped her, though. They say that they were going to make Paula some sort of human sacrifice or something. They were definitely hardcore strange. You know, she might be gone already. You better hurry. If you save Paula, be sure to come back here, okay? Don't forget. Oh, shit. Hello? Hey, it's your dad. You've been out there for a long time now. It may be none of my business, but don't you think it'd be a good idea if you took a break? No, I don't, actually. Because we have at least another 10 to 15 minutes of video to record, maybe. I don't know when I'll end this one, but basically your dad will call you if you spend too long without saving, although that's actually a plot inconsistency, as we're about to see in a moment here. So, oh hey, a cop. Guess we're fighting you. So you'll see in a bit, we actually do not have a phone, a portable phone on us right now at this point in the game, but somehow our dad can call us. But we're actually about to receive a receiver phone that will let us receive calls, so for whatever reason, they just didn't program the game to account for the fact that you don't have a receiver phone, but I think that's fine, honestly. If you save the game regularly enough, you won't even notice that, because your dad won't call you. But I'm using an emulator, so I don't really need to save my game, because I can just use save states. Yes, I do want to get rid of that burger. I will leave it behind, TY. But anyway, like I was talking about with my life, I have to be grown and realize things don't have to go exactly the way I want to, and that life just keeps moving no matter what, so you should just do what you can. And as someone who personally, like, really is motivated by... Honestly, I'm very love-motivated. Oh, I should have gave him a hamburger. Who's very motivated by love, like, not feeling like I deserve love is really big to me, and one of the reasons that I have historically felt like I don't deserve love is because I didn't feel very successful in the things that I was doing. In particular, I just didn't feel like I was good enough at school, or just really anything I did, when in reality I actually do very well at school and all the things I do. I just don't meet my standards because I always am comparing myself to someone else or comparing myself to an abstract idea, because I think that I need to do things to be worth people's time, but the truth is, that's a lie. That's a great gay deception. Oop, shit. You know what? See, that's what happens when I go flapping my mouth. Let's go ahead and shove this hamburger in there. Thank you, and talk to this mouse again. I am a mouse. No one has given me a name yet. You took care of my master. In return, I want to give you this. Please take it and say nothing. Thank you. We got the receiver phone. So, I guess I should probably say what I even was doing in this Apple Kid's house. So, basically, I gave him some money and food, and he is going to invent stuff for us for the rest of the game, and it's going to be pretty handy. You actually have to do that before you leave Twoson, because if you don't, he will make you walk your ass back here and remind you that you forgot to talk to an NPC, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. So now what we need to do is we have, well, 1.5 more stops we need to make. So first we need to go to Paula's house, Polestar Preschool. And this actually is one of my favorite songs in the game, incidentally. I don't know why, it's not like usually what I go for, but it's cute. It has a cute, I don't know, it's very foreboding. Whistle, whistle anywhere, it makes me smile all the while. I'm Paula's mother. I'm busy taking care of these kids. You shouldn't worry about Paula. She has a guardian angel, it seems. So this is mother number 2, who's very uninterested in her child potentially being in danger. Our mother was the first one, and who is this? So you want to see Paula? Many come here to see her miraculous powers, but they're just leeches. So, are you from a TV station or what? No, actually, I'm here to save the world. To meet you or to not meet you can only be decided by Paula. Paula has said that she would only meet with a boy named Ness. Oh, so you're Ness. You're the one who was in Paula's dream. You will save the world! Exclamation point. Let me go call Paula. Okay. Well, spoilers, we actually already know she's kidnapped, so she does not seem to be here. I wonder where she went. Okay, well, that's a little bit awkward for him. He don't know where his daughter is at, but whatevs. So, Paula got kidnapped right under her parents' noses, which leads credence to the theory that basically these parents want these kids out of their house so they can do whatever parents do when they're alone. Probably watch, like, cop dramas or whatever. But we can take care of that, so it's no biggie. But first, we need to drop by a hotel and heal up because we are running a little bit low on PP, and then we might buy another teddy bear, too. You know, some people probably actually... Hey, we're having a dream. Ness. I am Paula. Can you hear me calling you? Help. Come and help me. I don't know where I am. I can hear water running in the distance. Ness, please help me. So like I said, if you take too long to figure out where to go next, Paula will just start popping up in your dreams and being like, what the fuck, nerd? Why are you still in Twoson? And she will basically get more and more specific about where you're supposed to go until you fucking figure it out. Which, again, as I said in the previous part, is very funny to me. I like the idea of passive-aggressively invading people's dreams. Paula, where are you? It's time for a yummy piece of pie. And her dad finally clued in that she's, like, really gone for real now. So let's go ahead and get that other teddy bear. And then what I was saying before was, you know, I feel like a lot of people actually... Well, I know for a fact there are people who do not like my view on a lot of gay stuff, in part because I think they feel that I paint gay people as being, like, really depressed and maladapted, but what I'm really getting at is that, you know, depression is something that, like, a lot of... Shit, I still have too much stuff. I thought I had more than that. Oh, it's because I have the broken machine in there, too. You know what we need to do? We need to go to a payphone and have some people take some of this shit, because this is a little bit ridiculous that we have all this stuff in our inventory. But I guess that'll give us a chance to show that off. But I've even encountered this in person, where people think I'm trying to make gay people look bad, basically, by saying we're all depressed nerds. And, like I was getting at, you know, depression is something that, like, most people experience, but when you have gay depression, it just means you have some unique things going on in your life that can make things a bit more complicated, and that's what I'm really trying to get at in a lot of these videos. And also, these are my videos and I can do whatever the fuck I want, because I'm grown and I'm making them, so... You can't see it, but I just took a hit for my cigarette. Yeah, basically, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. So, we are gonna have Tracy pick this shit up here. In fact, that's actually a big point of division for me with some people I've met, is that I have met people who are gay who are not, like, really ultra-depressed, and they just have very different life experiences than me, basically. Like, they just have very loving and accepting families, and they just have very pleasant social interactions with people. They don't do some of the stuff that me and my friends do. And it's a little bit freaky, honestly. It's a little bit weird. I don't always know what to think about them. Well, I do. I'm glad for them, actually. I'm glad they don't have to go through that, but it's just kinda strange to me, because that's just so different from my own experiences. But at the start of the video, I talked about we need the cold remedy and we need the receiver phone. Man, actually, I like the exit mice, but they really do take up too much space. Or you know what, I could probably get rid of the town map, because I actually know what these towns look like. Yeah, alright, you're gonna take these three. Alright, see ya. But you know, let me give you some insight to the creative LP process. So sometimes you forget what you're talking about while you're doing something, because you're actually playing a video game while talking. And then you try to, like, give yourself time to remember what you're talking about by reading NPC dialogue or just saying something off the wall. And then it doesn't work, and so you're sitting here in Twoson, moving in circles, there's an asshole in a car in front of you, and you just don't remember what you were talking about, so you're just gonna move forward and act like it didn't happen. And that's that. So we are gonna go this way, because I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. And actually, I already forgot how to navigate Twoson. I think we go down this way. It's either we go this way, or we go further up. But, hey, what's up with Paula's dad? But Paula's not home yet. Everdred and Bergland Park might know something. Oh boy, now I'm really worried. Well, that sucks for you, but I'm doing Aodogi, so good luck, nerd. Actually, let's go to Mock Pizza. We need to get their phone number anyway. What's up? Welcome to Mock Pizza. We don't sell pizza here, we only deliver. Let me give you our number so you can place an order sometime. The best pizza is Mock Pizza. The number is psst, psst, psst. You got that? Alright, so now we have that. So if we're ever at a phone, we can call for a pizza to be delivered to us, and we will have healing items on demand, which is pretty useful. It's easy not to use it, though, because Ness has psychic brain powers and he can just heal himself. Also, I just remembered what I was about to fucking talk about. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you, Teddy Bear. You reminded me. So at the start of the video, I mentioned that you can't just avoid your enemies and expect to get stronger, like that mole said, which pissed me off a little bit, because that mole didn't know anything about me or my struggle. But I will say the mole is exactly correct, which is making me even more angry. In that part of growing involves not avoiding people, and something that I have noticed that maybe y'all can relate to, and someone actually asked me to talk about this, which is why I'm bringing it up, is that gays tend to be very afraid of each other in a lot of cases. And what I mean by that is, even though we interact with each other, we tend to have trouble feeling comfortable being around each other, especially groups of other gays, in part because we're worried that it's gonna, like, make it more obvious that we're gay. And then also, I think we just really don't know what to do with each other in a lot of cases. Like, for the most part, we don't meet other gays until we're usually adults, or at least older teenagers. And we don't really have, like, a script to work with here, like, we're used to being the only one. And so that creates scenarios where we kind of default to several things. So for one, we either default to being, like, sexual. So you can think about how sometimes when people are lonely, they hook up with people, not because they're horny, but because they just want attention. And so they use sex as a way to get through their loneliness, but spoilers, it actually just makes you lonelier in a lot of cases, because it's hard to build a real connection with someone like that. And then on top of that, we need to go up this way. On top of that, the next thing that we tend to do is actually be very dismissive of other gays and kind of get into, like, a queen bee complex where we really need to show out in front of each other and basically put on a show and be a little bit dramatic just to assert our dominance. Which is cool and all, but that ends up socially isolating you. And then, on top of that, some of us just completely avoid doing anything that has to do with gay stuff because we think that we don't need it. But in reality, I think a lot of us really do, and a lot of us really want to have, like, gay friends in a gay community, but we're just afraid. And what avoiding enemies has to do with that is that if you really want to not be lonely, you really can't avoid having meaningful social interactions with people. Like, that's 100% true. You can't, because you'll never be happy. And that's kind of the tragedy of a lot of us, is that we're comically lonely and we feel very isolated, but, like, we avoid doing the things that might make us feel better, and that involves making meaningful relationships with each other. And part of that is because we have to hide so much. Like, I know that as a child, I would avoid talking about myself and my interests, and I would just kind of play up that I was a nerd, and that I was awkward, but in reality, I wasn't necessarily awkward. I was just really, I mean, I am, but I was afraid of people, basically. I was afraid of people realizing that I was a big ol' homo, and I was afraid of people thinking that I was unlovable because I was a homo. For some weird reason, a pencil-shaped iron statue is blocking your path. So this is one of the annoying parts of Earthbound. We actually have to walk back to Twoson, but that gives me more time to talk at y'all and beat up these flying saucers. So I saw talking about myself is like people would see that basically I wasn't what I was supposed to be. I wasn't like particularly masculine, and I was also extremely gay. And I thought people would see that and basically just not like me, and so I got very used to hiding myself. And moving on as an adult, I realized that in my interactions with other men who are gay, I still held on to that. Like, I would be afraid to be myself in front of them because I was afraid of not being what they wanted. But in reality, that fear is often mutual. We usually are mutually afraid of each other, even if we don't act like it, and that's a big thing. That's why I kind of brought up that some gays will be like really dramatic and mean to each other, but that's really just a defense mechanism to deal with being afraid of other people not liking you. Like, you're confrontational so that you don't have to put up with other people's expectations of you, basically. Which is really hard for some people to wrap their heads around when I explain that. They think that it's just because gays are mean, and they don't realize that it's, like I said, it's a defense mechanism. Oh man, also, if you haven't noticed, poor Ness has a cold here, so we actually need to go to a hospital and get that taken care of. We have a cold remedy, but we're gonna actually want to hold on to that for later, because we are going to risk getting sick a lot during this trek we're making to this next area. Also, I think I'm going to cut the video pretty soon here, because, there we go, get out of here. Because we are already at like 26 or so minutes. I don't know exactly how long it'll be after the editing, but that usually shaves off 30 minutes, or not 30 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 minutes after editing. Y'all have no idea how much I smack my lips when I record these. Like, if you hear lip smacks, like me going in the videos, it is like 50,000 times worse and 50 times louder before I edit it, because it's just like, I don't even know why I do it when I'm recording videos, because I don't do it when I'm normally talking. Oh shit. I need to shove a hamburger in I don't have a hamburger. We might need to use the cold remedy sooner than Dad, shut up. Oh, it's Apple Kid, my bad. Hello, this is the Apple Kid. I've just finished working on this great invention. Get over here as soon as you can. This thing is so cool. See you soon. Slam. Beep. Okay, we need to avoid any enemy encounters. Don't see me, don't see me. Okay, good. Because we are in very real risk of dying here. Oh my god, why are there so many mushrooms here? Okay, good. I think they despawned. Yeah, we're good. Man, so being sick actually functions like poison does in Pokemon, where you're gonna intermittently take damage till you come down to 1 HP. And that's what that screen flashing is. So the cure for that, again, is to go to a hospital, and then after we go to a hospital, we're gonna rest in the hotel, and then that is where we're gonna end the video. That sound cool? Good, good. And this will give me time to wrap up what I was talking about. Oh, actually, you are not who I needed to talk to. I think it's this person back here. Yeah, there we go. This is the doctor. There we go. Alright, they got rid of my cold. But, like I was saying, I think that a lot of the things we do is because we're afraid of each other. So, like I said, being dramatic is one thing, and then something I mentioned a little bit earlier was the whole sexual thing, and I think people underestimate the degree to which gay men tend to use sex as a way to get social validation and also to deal with being depressed. I think people think we're just especially horny, but in reality, I realize a lot of us are just lonely nerds, and we use sex as a way to get people to interact with us in a lot of cases. Which has its own problems, right? Because ultimately, it ends up being unfulfilling because we don't get the meaningful interactions with people that we often want, and it ends up making us very disappointed in men and love to begin with, so it can be kind of crushing in a lot of ways. But I guess rounding out this conversation, what I'm getting at is that even though it's hard, something that we all have to work on if we want to feel better, and not be so scared of each other, is we really have to be willing to be a little bit vulnerable, and then also be willing to be honest with ourselves about what we want. So if you're lonely, don't just settle for having sex with someone. Like, if you, like, this is some very real grown folk advice I'm about to give y'all. If you want to be close to a dude who you like or have a crush on, do not have sex with him early on, because that is going to be the only context that y'all have with each other. Like, it is very easy for a relationship to stay sexual, or that starts sexual to just stay sexual and never escalate beyond that, because you're using sex as a buffer to deal with the fact that, or at least me personally, this isn't everyone, sometimes I use sex as a buffer to avoid having an actual meaningful interaction with someone. So have you ever noticed, like, it's actually kind of weird when you hook up with someone to, like, actually learn their fucking name? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, sex, despite being, like, probably, you would think more and be... Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sex, despite being, like, more intense, theoretically, it's, like, it's easier to have sex than, like, actually learn someone's name in a lot of cases, because that's too scary, because they might ask questions about you, and if you don't want to talk about yourself, or how much of a failure you think you are, then, you know, that's gonna really fuck you up, man. And that's what I mean. Like, if you really want to build a connection with someone, you need to avoid doing that. Like, just be open and try not to be afraid of being yourself. But it's hard, it's scary though. And you can be punished for it. Sometimes when you're yourself, people will be fucking mean to you, which is what cartoons don't tell you when they talk about that. They don't tell you that sometimes being yourself will make someone want to punch you in the face. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta go with it. You gotta risk it to get more from life, which is what I'm all about. So, anyway, we talked about a lot this episode, and it's like 33 minutes now, so I need to cut this bad boy. So I will see you nerds later. We're gonna find Apple Kid and move on to rescue Paula. So, thanks for watching, have a good one, and bye.